First off, I want to say we went from minus 40 and it rained today. Everything is so slick, ice everywhere. It's time to work on this bad boy though. So I got my beautiful 2003 LS Vortex Swap Jeep TJ, which has been running just amazing. 35-inch tires, 4.5-inch lift. This thing has been an absolute beast. I still don't drive it that much though. And this year, I don't know, it's been kind of a write-off. I have not been out doing much at all besides wrenching. But all these projects are coming to an end very soon. Then it'll be adventure time. That being said, it's Jerry from BackCountry Wrenching, and welcome to today's video. In the last video, if you would have seen that one, I talked about how a low voltage battery can cause all sorts of electrical gremlins. And in this video, I got some funky hair going, I'm going to show you another issue that happens, not necessarily with the batteries, but with the battery cables that can cause all sorts of issues as well. This is something I've been meaning to take care of, but I just have not gotten around to it. Actually, to be honest, I've just been lazy to tackle it, but I feel like doing an easy project. Fingers crossed, it's not going to turn into a shit show. So let me show you what I mean. That penny light hood light mod has been by far one of the best things I did. Look at that beautiful V8 power. I know there's a lot of 4-liter fanboys out there, but the 4-liter is like the fake news. People want to believe it. They want to believe that it's good, but in reality, it's just shit. There's nothing good about the 4-liter at all. It is a gutless, gas-guzzling pig. Where this is a 4.8, only 0.8 cubic inches bigger, and it's probably got twice the horsepower and almost double the fuel economy. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. We're talking about battery issues. Now, we get over here to my factory battery cables here. Now, you can see right there how the corrosion is starting to set in there, especially right down in here. Now, the problem with that is under normal circumstances, dry weather, warm out, it's not really a big deal. Problem comes into under wet conditions, or when it's extremely cold, when you need to deliver a lot of current, and all that corrosion just causes a lot of resistance and a lot of issues. This is what I picked up for the project. These are Fastronic military spec battery terminal kits, positive and negative. That's what I'm going to be running. I also picked up this battery connector kit. It comes with heat shrink, and I have a hydraulic crimper as well. I'm going to start this journey by disconnecting the negative battery post right here. That's how we're going to start this journey off. There we go. Yeah, you disconnect the negative one first, mainly so that if you do the positive one, you're not going to accidentally ground it out somewhere and cause some havoc. And you got a wrench on a battery turbo and hits ground, yeah, it's going to fuse itself. It's been so long I can't even remember what this one powers. I know this one goes to the winch. Let's get this battery terminal off. You tell that's pretty corroded in there. That is very corroded. I do want to replace the wire to the starter, and I could go out and buy one, but I have this 1 gauge in the garage. It's just been sitting around for years, so I'm just going to repurpose it, cut this end off, put a new crimp on it. But what I need to do, what I need to tackle is I need to get down in there and start separating the wires from the harness. So you can see right there on the positive side, that's a lot of resistance, and that negative's not looking so good either, but I need to work on this harness. I need to see where all those wires go. I really need to make sure that the battery wire is going to be independent from everything else, because I'd like to be able to fish that out. In order to recut the negatives and make them work, I need to stretch them a little bit longer. Making good progress. I got the negative pulled apart and I will have more than enough to stretch it. And this wire is independently ran down to the starter. Well, this one comes from the alternator and then joins up to the fuse block and then comes back down and around. So now I just need to crank the wheel, remove the mud flap and the splash guard, and I should have barely enough room to get my fat mitts in there to loosen off the nut off the starter, and hopefully this will be long enough. It's a bit overkill, but I have it in my garage and I'm recycling it because it's been sitting around for years, and if I don't use it, it's just going to keep sitting around. All right. Moving that flap, I got a little cavity. Get at the wire. All right, disconnected. I fished this cable up. And we're out. Ooh. Just barely gonna be making the cut there. I've really never had a purpose for this Milwaukee. It has come in handy from time to time, but I'm going to use it to cut that battery terminal off so we can get this cable prepped for the install. There we go. Like that. Take one of my handy things of the shrink wrap. So I got the solder and the torch, so I'm going to heat it up. Fill that full, about half full of solder. Put my wire in there, keep it hot, then I'm going to crimp it. Just gonna let that cool down a little bit. Get my crimper ready. It says for one I need number 50 die. That's what I need. This is actually very cool. Just pull the pin, pull those dies out, put the new ones in, and then close her up. Got a nice solid crimp on that. Shouldn't be popping off. Alright, one last thing. I'm hoping this size here will fit. The insulation on this is pretty thick. I don't think I need to go this route, but if I have it, might as well use it, right? Hardest part will be just trying to get it into position where you can get it down on there to use it. So this is where you need good one hand dexterity right here, because I got to try to feed that nut on using 2 fingers and not drop it into the abyss. And I think I got it. I think I got it. All right, got the battery cable on. We're good. Alright, just enough that I can hold it in there. Now I'm going to put the smaller dies in and then re-crimp them. I have found out with this tool though that it's pretty weak. You put too much pressure and it's starting to spread. It's a cheap Amazon special, but definitely limited. So I got this to work, but it wasn't pretty. This wire is actually number 8, but I got number 6 lug on it because I need the 3/8 for the military clamps. So I crimped it as far as it'll go with the number 6, and then I grabbed the number 8 and I crimped it, just squished it, and I got a nice tight fit on there now. Sometimes when you do that, the crimp will crack and it's no good, but I'm pretty solid right there. So I'm gonna put the heat shrink on it and hopefully it doesn't fall out. Gotta be careful with that cutoff tool. There we go. The struggle is real. I gotta really make sure I have a good crimp with these ones, because if they don't jive, those are all the grounds for my whole unit. So I am going to have to go number 6s on these ones as well. Alright, before we assemble everything, do the old pull test. Pull good. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna come loose. So the military spec battery terminals are labeled plus and minus. So we need a 9/16 and a 1/2 inch. Gotta try to position it how you're gonna have it go. Tighten this down first. Bolt from the other end. And then like that. I'll get the negative connected and see if we let the smoke out of the wires. Yeah, like I said before, this is a project I've been meaning to tackle for a while. I just never got around to it. There we go, we're all installed. I didn't bother using the rubber boots. I figured it'll be more of a hassle than good. I'm hoping that I'm not gonna have any issues. Because the problem is, when you take a larger crimp and then you crimp it smaller, you can over crimp it. And then over time, the crimp could crack, or could crack in the process, and then your wire could come out. I tried to be careful. I did not notice any cracking, and they do seem pretty tight. So time will tell throughout the next little while if vibrations or anything is going to rattle it loose, because I'm going to know in a hurry. I will know it in a hurry. Oh, roads are going to be slick tonight, middle of winter, and it rained today. How do you feel about that? Shut her down, another project done. I'm still waiting on parts, hopefully they'll come in. I think it is motherfucking beer time. Last night I picked up a case of some new beers. Let's try one of them out. Let's try this. I haven't had a Pilsner in a while. This is by Whistler Brewing Company, Mountaineer Pilsner, 5%. Pilsner used to be my all-time favorite beer, but I'm kind of digging the sours right now. But maybe this one here. Changed my mind. Alright, shut her down. It's motherfucking beer time. Another project is completed. Didn't have a shit show today. Maybe the struggle bus will come later on down the road and have those connections come loose and screw me over. But we're done. Makes me feel good. Get rid of those cables, or fix up those cables that are a little bit corroded. And looking forward to get my parts, my J case, so I can finish that off. And then hopefully in a few weeks, when the days start getting a little bit longer, I'll be able to head out and do some camping. But right now, time of filming, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's already dark. I shit you not. Yeah, 4:30. Who wants to do that? So I take like a month off, month and a half off. I don't even think about camping because there's no point, right? You head out. It's dark in the mountains by 4:30. It's still dark at like 9 o'clock in the morning. You spend all your time sitting in the dark. You're in bed by 9 o'clock. You're up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep anymore. And then you just lay in your cot and just ponder life and think how much it sucks because you came out camping and it's so dark out. But anyways, cheers everybody. Motherfucking beer time. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.